Did you realize that with each passing moment, even as you read this, your muscles may be quietly losing strength? You might have noticed a subtle feeling of weakness setting in, even though nothing obvious seems wrong. Imagine if certain foods could actually help restore that lost vigor. Not many are aware that after age 60, the body begins silently breaking down muscle mass. There's no pain, no major symptoms, just waking up feeling drained, having trouble standing from your favorite chair, or feeling unsteady on the stairs. This isn't simply getting older. It's a sign of a widespread but often overlooked condition, sarcopenia. So, is there a way to turn back this loss? Recent scientific breakthroughs show that there are foods with natural compounds capable of helping to rebuild muscle tissue. Even for those in their 80s, one of these foods might be absent from your pantry right now. Let's dig into what's really happening behind muscle loss and why it rarely gets discussed in doctors' offices. Have you come across the term sarcopenia? This elusive medical condition is the root of many physical declines that come with age. Officially classified as a disease by the World Health Organization, sarcopenia stands for the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength. Research has shown that it begins creeping in around the age of 50, often impacting people who seem otherwise healthy. Unlike illnesses that announce themselves with obvious signs, sarcopenia progresses quietly, no fever, no pain, just a gradual eroding of physical strength. The consequences eventually reveal themselves in tangible ways: loss of stability, weak legs, struggling to get up from bed or a chair, and unexpected falls that start happening more often. What doctors don't often mention is how much this condition can be shaped by your own choices. The food on your plate, day after day, may quietly hold the power to preserve your strength far longer than you expect. Recent research has uncovered that, even in later years, some nutrients can help your body rebuild muscle. Many of these foods aren't exotic or expensive. They could be sitting in your pantry now, yet you might be losing strength without even noticing, until one day you struggle to sit up in bed or need help just to shuffle across the familiar room. For so many older adults, this grim scenario isn't just a distant fear. It sneaks up, quietly eroding independence and confidence. Age-related muscle loss unfolds slowly, chipping away at the robust life you once led. And often the first warning is a sudden, disorienting fall. The damage runs deeper than bruises or fractures. There's a haunting sense of uncertainty that seeps in, and along with it, dependence takes root. Studies from Harvard Medical School reveal that by age 60, people can silently lose up to a third of their muscle, even if they think they're doing everything right. The cruel reality is, what kept you strong in the past just doesn't work the same way anymore. But there is a glimmer of hope. Science shows it's possible to halt, or even reverse much of this decline, if you know which foods quietly deliver the support your aging muscles need most. The window to act is shrinking. Every moment wasted means another step closer to irreversible loss. For decades, the relentless grip of sarcopenia, the progressive wasting away of muscle after 70, was accepted as an inevitable shadow of aging. Tradition dictated surrender. Science now cracks that coffin open. What was once dismissed as fate is now being challenged in cold laboratory light. Researchers admit that while time gnaws at the body, the decay of muscle can be slowed, even reversed, with startling simplicity. But there's something chilling beneath this revelation: food. The most mundane element of daily life doubles as a weapon against bodily decline. Harvard Medical School's recent findings unveil a roster of uncanny compounds hidden in ordinary foods. Whispered agents of regeneration that stir dormant muscle, stamp out inflammation, and coax new tissue from the abyss. These dietary choices sometimes eclipse the power of pharmaceuticals, producing recoveries that border on the unnatural. Some foods, in fact, have been witnessed raising muscle capacity in those past 80, outstripping the most celebrated drugs. A particularly unsettling study emerged: 91% of those over 70, drawn back from the brink, regained muscle mass within a mere 6 weeks, all through calculated changes to their routines. Yet, there are no easy miracles here. These foods require commitment, their effects compounding in the shadows, growing stronger the sooner you begin. Ignore this chance, and you risk sliding into decline that no treatment can reverse. What follows will expose the 13 most potent foods, their integration into your daily habits, and the fatal missteps that threaten to obliterate all gain. Choose wisely, delay, and the results may be lost forever. 13 foods that help rebuild fading muscles after 60. Even doctors are caught off guard by number 9. Greek yogurt, a nighttime companion that quietly cares for your muscles as you sleep. Few things offer the same reliable support as Greek yogurt when it comes to hanging on to strength that seems to slip away with age. Its careful straining process removes the whey, leaving behind a dense source of protein, up to 20 grams in just 170 grams of yogurt. The key lies in the type of protein it offers: casein, which doesn't rush through your system but lingers, slowly releasing its building blocks over the many silent hours of night. It's a time when the threat of muscle loss grows, while your body lies still and resources dwindle. A simple cup of Greek yogurt before bed offers a gentle, steady stream of nutrients, quietly protecting what muscle remains. It brings more calcium, vitamin D, and phosphorus, all needed to keep bones and muscles from becoming frail. Its probiotics keep your gut healthy, supporting absorption and easing the silent burden of inflammation. To get the most from it, opt for unsweetened varieties, adding berries or seeds for a touch of flavor and a little boost of hope. If you manage to make it a habit 3 or 4 evenings a week, you may just hold on to your strength and the independence that so many peers find slipping away. Fatty fish, another thread in the tattered fabric of aging muscle. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, and tuna can stave off weakness, armed with both high-quality proteins and precious omega-3s, EPA and DA, perhaps slowing the decline just a little more. These compounds not only help reduce inflammation, an issue that speeds up muscle loss in older adults, but they also boost the ability of muscle cells to respond to protein. This means your body becomes more efficient at making use of the nutrients you eat. While this muscle cell sensitivity typically fades with age, omega-3s can counteract that decline, encouraging muscle growth and helping to maintain lean tissue into later life. A 100-gram portion of salmon offers around 20 grams of top-quality protein, along with beneficial fats. Salmon and similar fish are also rich in vitamin D, which supports both muscle performance and bone integrity. In research featured in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, seniors who ate fatty fish twice a week showed notably less decline in strength and mobility after 3 years. To maximize the health impact, consider grilling, roasting, or boiling your fish, and steer clear of fried types and overly salty canned varieties. If regularly cooking fish isn't practical, discuss fish oil supplements with your doctor, although whole foods still provide the broadest range of benefits. Switching to eggs, these inexpensive nutritional powerhouses promote muscle development. They're among the most complete and cost-effective foods available. Despite decades of controversy over cholesterol, recent research shows that moderate egg intake is unlikely to raise heart disease risk for most people, and may even enhance healthy cholesterol levels. For older adults, eggs are a valuable source of nutrients, with one egg containing around 6 grams of high-quality protein, plus essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support overall health. For seniors, eggs once offered a quiet promise of nourishment. Each one, small and simple, carries about 6 grams of high-quality protein, plus subtle traces of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, essentials that bodies, now slower and worn with time, quietly crave. The secret sits in the golden yolk, rich with nutrients like choline for nerves that once were quick, and leucine, an amino acid that gently urges aging muscles to hold on a little longer. But as the years pass, muscle seems to slip away, unheeded, and the body's spark for growth weakens. Foods laced with leucine occasionally coax back what's faded, trying to revive what age has dulled. Research from the University of Illinois points out that eating whole eggs, not just the altered whites, after movement can stir muscle response, sometimes by as much as 40%, even in those who feel forgotten by younger science. Eggs still offer vitamin D, selenium, and iron too, nutrients easily missing from the plainer meals that often make up senior diets. To glean the most, 1 or 2 eggs at breakfast can help, though the ease and speed of preparation seem to underline just how much has changed with the years. They help maintain a touch of independence, though even that feels fragile. Nuts and seeds, tiny and often overlooked, do their best to guard what remains. Despite their size, they bring concentrated nutrition, proteins, and healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals vital for what's left of lean mass. A handful of almonds, perhaps 20 or 30 grams, gives around 6 grams of protein, and a shot of magnesium, vitamin E, and zinc. Magnesium, needed for muscles to function and cells to spark, grows more precious as fatigue and weakness threaten to settle in. Yet even these little defenders sometimes seem overmatched by the steady pull of time. Zinc helps the body produce testosterone, a hormone important for muscle strength, even when its levels decline with age. Vitamin E serves as a potent antioxidant, protecting muscle fibers from free radical damage, a concern that becomes more pronounced as the body ages and oxidative stress increases. Pumpkin and chia seeds are also useful, supplying fiber that supports digestive health and helps the body better absorb nutrients vital for muscle upkeep. Research from Tufts University found that older adults with sufficient vitamin E in their blood managed to retain more muscle over several years. Adding a daily portion of nuts or seeds, whether as a snack or mixed into salads, yogurt, or smoothies, can offer these benefits. However, it's best to enjoy them in moderate amounts because of their higher calorie content. Beans and legumes are everyday menu staples that often go unrecognized for their muscle-supporting qualities, especially among seniors. Lentils, chickpeas, peas, and black beans are all rich in plant-based protein, fiber, and key minerals. These single cooked cup packs up to 15 grams of protein along with iron, potassium, and magnesium, all essential for healthy muscle function. But the unique benefit of legumes is their resistant starch, a specific carbohydrate that nourishes gut bacteria, helping to create an anti-inflammatory environment linked to muscle maintenance. Scientific studies have demonstrated that maintaining gut health goes hand in hand with preserving muscle mass, as a robust digestive system aids in nutrient absorption and reduces inflammation that can deteriorate muscle. The iron in these foods also supports better oxygen delivery to muscles, which is essential for strength, stamina, and recovery. Research from Tufts University's Human Nutrition Research Center quietly highlights something sobering: elderly people who manage to eat legumes 4 or more times a week. For anyone whose stomach can't handle legumes well, the best hope lies in starting with just a little and building up slowly. Soaking beans before cooking doesn't make them taste less plain, but it does seem to make them easier to digest, taking away some of the discomfort that often keeps people away. Beans and legumes, often pushed to the side of dinner plates, carry a kind of quiet promise in the fight against muscle loss that comes with growing old. Then there's the leafy greens, dark, earthy, almost weightless. They look like they could blow away in a breeze, but inside, there's strength people rarely notice. Spinach, kale, arugula, and Swiss chard are all packed with natural nitrates, and in the body, these become nitric oxide. This helps blood vessels widen just a bit more, bringing nutrients to tired muscles, keeping the wheels of recovery turning just enough to stave off some of the creeping weakness and fatigue. The Karolinska Institute in Sweden saw in its own work that older adults who ate more nitrate-rich greens could walk with less effort and had stronger legs. But the truth is, these benefits too often go unnoticed, folded quietly into daily routines. Even the minerals, magnesium, potassium, calcium, are there in quiet abundance, yet so often overlooked. A single cup of cooked spinach could fill nearly half of a day's need for magnesium, yet so many plates pass them by. For all these foods quietly offer, there's a sadness in thinking of all they could help with, and how easily their power slips past those who need it most. Vitamin K is another significant element in these leaves, playing a direct role in building the proteins that support muscle retention and bone strength, a defense against brittle bones and breaks. Studies in the Journal of Gerontology have shown that seniors with more vitamin K have a slower decline in strength and manage to hold on a little longer to their ability to move. Still, this hope sits dimly at the edge of many plates, dark leafy greens left barely touched. The guidance quietly remains: eat at least 2 cups a day, blended into juice, tossed into salads, stirred into soups, or warmed with garlic and olive oil, each forkful a faint protest against future frailty. The story isn't just about proteins, though. Even the fats we choose can change the course for tired muscles. Extra virgin olive oil, the centerpiece of the Mediterranean diet, eases inflammation with natural compounds like oleocanthal, whose effects are uncannily similar to ibuprofen. This oil acts against that low, constant burn of inflammation that quietly eats away at muscle over time, making every recovery feel a little more elusive. With age, bodies begin to lose their grip on nutrients, but olive oil helps sharpen insulin sensitivity, allowing muscle cells to absorb what little they can. Research out of the University of Navarra found that older adults who made olive oil part of their daily routine kept more strength, maintained mobility a bit longer, and faced less risk of decline. Yet, the slow erosion of strength remains, lurking for those who dismiss these foods, while the rest cling to a routine that may only delay the inevitable. Olive oil, deceptively ordinary, weaves itself into the body's darkest machinery by fueling the creation of anabolic hormones, testosterone, growth hormone, agents that push muscle to persist, even as their power begins to slip away with age. 2 to 3 tablespoons, draped over salads or slipping into dishes at low heat, unlock this quiet alchemy. But there's a catch: not just any olive oil will do. Only those pressed cold from shadowy olives, bottled in protective darkness. Avoid rapidly devolving into uselessness. Those who ignore this detail invite frailty sooner than expected, for olive oil's effects are deep and unyielding. It's the silent hand staving off decay for those desperate to claw some strength out of dwindling years. Berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries cling to their bright colors as a mask. Underneath, they arm themselves with potent antioxidants, silent sentinels that fight the vicious free radicals gnawing at muscle from within. With age, this unseen damage intensifies, fibers fray, recovery falters, muscle thins, and vanishes. Berries, brimming with anthocyanins and polyphenols, step into this onslaught, slowing the physical unraveling bit by bit, suppressing smoldering inflammation that quietly orchestrates sarcopenia. At Tufts University, those who fed on berries fared better, their muscles recovering faster, their weakness held at bay for now. Vitamin C in every bite helps patch worn-out tissue, giving structure to tendons and muscle too stubborn to surrender. Despite their sweetness, berries trick the body by keeping blood sugar low, giving no quarter to the chaos within. These fruits bring with them a hidden cargo of vitamin C, the unseen catalyst in forging collagen, the protein that silently weaves strength and resilience into your muscles and tendons. Their low glycemic index keeps blood sugar on a predictable leash, quietly thwarting the wild swings that can undermine muscle vitality in the shadows. Integrate at least a cup of berries into your daily ration, fresh or frozen, unadorned or lurking in your yogurt, creeping into your smoothies and porridge. Every bite is a quiet bulwark against the creeping decay of muscle that swallows so many with age, their secrets lost in silence. Then there is lean meat, unrecognized by many as the last line of defense against frailty, and flesh stripped away by time, often shunned in old age for fear of cholesterol or changing appetites. Lean red meat, when consumed thoughtfully, emerges as a formidable ally. 100 grams of tender duckling drumstick or filet mignon conceals about 25 grams of complete protein, every amino acid present and accounted for, ready to patch and restore breaking muscle. But the true secret hiding in this flesh is leucine, a volatile amino acid that rouses the ancient mTOR pathway, the sole gateway through which muscle can grow. With each passing year, this gateway seals tighter, demanding ever more potent sustenance to stir it from dormancy. Lean meat meets this challenge. Its gifts don't end there. Within this meat lurks creatine, quietly fueling strength, stamina, and recovery under the surface. It is no idle promise. Experiments at McMaster University revealed that those who paired lean red meat with resistance training amassed more muscle than those who clung only to plant-based protein, even when amounts were matched. The evidence is grim and undeniable. Stave off muscular decay or risk succumbing to weakness that feeds on the unprepared. Lean meats quietly offer iron, zinc, and B vitamins, the very nutrients that silently help carry oxygen to our muscles and keep what's left of our vitality going. To hold on to whatever benefits they have to give, it's best to stick with lean, grilled, or roasted cuts a few times a week. Sometimes, the strength you once had seems just out of reach, perhaps resting somewhere in your next meal, almost invisible. Whey protein is the muscle's final champion when time is wearing you down. As far as food goes, nothing else brings together sheer effectiveness, simple practicality, and scientific backing against age's slow erasure of muscle. The proof is there, but the struggle lingers. Pulled from milk, whey offers the most easily absorbed protein your body can get, a last stand against fading strength. That's because it holds leucine, an amino acid that calls your muscles to build. But with every year, the body barely listens, and typical meals don't seem enough to turn things around. Whey steps in. Research at McMaster University showed that older adults who took whey after exercise held on to as much as 40% more muscle than with other proteins. Maybe most bittersweet of all, even without exercise, just making a habit of whey brought improvements to strength, balance, and movement. Not quite turning back the clock, but slowing its hands a little. Wise bioactive peptides help the body in hidden ways, improving blood flow, soothing inflammation, and keeping blood sugar steadier. All of this matters more when muscle begins to slip away with age. For what good it can do, taking 20 to 30 grams a day, especially after moving your body or when meals fall short, is best. Look for unsweetened versions with a reputation for quality. One last attempt to keep some part of yourself from getting lost. Blend together berries, seeds, and Greek yogurt, and you can create a drink that tries to restore what time so easily steals away. Sometimes stirred into a strong coffee, sometimes just on its own, offers energy and a little support to muscles growing weaker with each passing year. Most people think of oats just for digestion or maybe cholesterol, never realizing how quietly this unassuming grain fights to help keep muscle from fading, especially when it meets protein. Slow-digesting carbohydrates in oats offer a steady, gentle supply of energy, trying to hold back the surges and crashes in blood sugar that quietly erode strength. Oats are also a modest source of plant protein, methionine, an amino acid, helping to knit together the building blocks of muscle in a body that needs all the help it can get. The most remarkable thing about oats, though, might be their soluble fiber, beta-glucan, which feeds the good bacteria inside us, tending to the fading defenses of a microbiome that once seemed invincible. Along with this, oats supply minerals like magnesium, phosphorus, and iron, all quietly necessary for muscles to recover from the wear they endure. Research from the University of São Paulo showed how diets full of grains, especially oats, let aging bodies hold on to strength just a little longer and slow the loss that otherwise seems inevitable. Oatmeal in the morning, with milk or fruit, or folded into pancakes. Each serving is a small, gentle attempt to reclaim something time has taken, even while we know that, in the end, it never truly gives it back. Steer clear of those instant oat packets laced with sugar. They promise comfort, but hide a trap. When harnessed with care, oats morph into a source of power, fueling you while others waste away, their energy sapped, eyes hollow from exhaustion. Tofu and tempeh, plant-based imposters quietly plotting to outperform meat. Seekers of plant strength find an unsettling ally here. Foods capable of maintaining muscle, silently opposed to what most nutritionists admit. Tofu's pale smoothness is a deceiver, masking a pliant nature that bends to any cuisine's will. Tempeh, twisted and dense from fermentation, hides more, its structure a fortress of protein, iron, and minerals, forged in the darkness of microbial transformation. Just 100 grams delivers a formidable 20 grams of protein, threading iron, calcium, and magnesium into every bite. Tempeh's fermentation breaks soybean defenses, unleashing nutrients that might otherwise stay locked away, lost to your body. These are complete proteins, hard to find among plants, delivering every amino acid, ready to help rebuild muscle torn and worn from daily battle. Both tofu and tempeh shelter isoflavones, invisible guardians, antioxidants fighting off unseen cellular decay, slowing the fraying of your strength. The Journal of Nutrition details how those eating soy keep their muscle, sometimes as well as those who rely on animal flesh. Incorporate tofu or tempeh 2 or 3 times a week, and you'll tap into a protective force, sidestepping secrets that most doctors mutter, if at all. Avocado waits in the wings. A strange ally, wrapping your muscles in protective fat, quietly feeding your hormones and holding off the rot. Avocados are often praised for their benefits to heart health, yet their quiet influence on preserving muscle mass, especially in older adults, is easily overlooked. Carrying a wealth of monounsaturated fats, avocados provide the very building blocks needed for hormone production, like testosterone and growth hormone, that slowly fade away with age. As these hormones slip away, so too does strength, and the firm muscle once taken for granted. Including healthy fats from avocados in the diet can gently slow this decline, supporting the hormonal environment necessary for muscle renewal, though never quite recapturing what is lost. There's more in an avocado than meets the eye. Just 100 grams rewards you with more potassium than a banana, the mineral lifeline for muscle movement and hydration, with vitamin E fighting off cellular damage and fiber keeping the digestive system working as it should. Avocados quietly offer support to bodies starting to wane. Research from the University of California points to a link between diets rich in healthy fats and better physical performance, with less muscle frailty among seniors, but such measures can feel like small comforts when aging's momentum is hard to reverse. For a small chance at hanging on to one's former vitality, 2 to 3 tablespoons of avocado a day, spread on toast or blended into a smoothie, might help. Yet, even with its understated virtues, the avocado often remains hidden in plain sight, unclaimed by many older adults in search of a way to stay strong. This simple fruit holds the promise of support, though for many,